1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God. Look, my finger is on this thing and this ain't even open. And I'm trying to go out here and try to find some crappie to catch. And I catch a crappie. Is that not crazy? I mean, there ain't but what? 1.5 foot of line out? Look. There ain't but 1.5 foot of line out, and I'm sitting there, and then a crappie just comes up. Alright. There's another one. Come here, baby. Figuring something out. Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, right, Chad? That's number 4. Oh, did he hang up on me? I forgot a stringer today, or a crappie basket. So we're using the anchor wizard that as my stringer. I'll show you here in a second. Number 4. Here we go, baby. Check this out. So I got my anchor wizard right here, right? I normally use to go off the back of the boat on a windy day. And I want to be facing into a pocket, but I just took the cable, routed it right in here to the handle, and then that way I can have all my crappie in the water. And I can tighten it up if I need to, but they stay nice and cool. So let's get some more. Little baby. Oh no, that's a good one. Sweet. Oh, I dropped you. Oh. You slimy bastard. Gotcha. Oh yeah, he's keepable. He's keepable. This is what I'm talking about. Alright guys, let me show you what I'm kind of working with right here. And I am by no means a crappie professional. I'm actually know nothing at all about crappie fishing other than they like to eat shad. But we're right in here, as you can kind of see. You see we got bait. That's kind of more of your bait, like your bait fish, your little thread fins. But then when you pan around, there we go. That's some. And you can kind of see the gap in between them. Little like tiger stripe line looking things. That's the crappie. And all I have is an 1/8 ounce jig. Literally got one rod on the entire boat out here right now. But that's what I'm looking for, is I'm looking for those groups of them. I wish I had a little bobber and a sinker, because as you can tell, they're literally in like 5 feet. I got an 1/8 ounce bait that's usually for a little bit deeper. But that's what we got going on. And just throwing it on a little spare rod that I actually had bought. Bought this rod when I first started getting into the bass fishing, you know, jig head minnow thing. It's not really a good rod for that, but it's making a good crappie rod, because as you can see, right here, it's just a noodle. And then we got that little 6-cent clobber minnow in the threadfin color with the 1/8 ounce head. I wish I had a bobber or a lighter head, because these fish are way up in the water column. I'm kind of having to, you know, work it way too fast, or try to drop it in on their head and get those dumb ones. There we go. See, I'm getting under them. Need to be staying above them. Yo. No, you're on the phone right now too, so I'm literally fighting a crappie.
Okay, well, stopping to grab a bag of ice. I'm on the way.
Alright, I got another one, and I think I got him. Oh, this is a good one. Woo! Alright, see you in a few. Bye. Look at that bad boy. Pretty, healthy, scrumptious. That's the old man. Chadwick's gonna bring me some ice, because to be honest, I did not plan to come over here and do this right here. I just really kind of came over here. It was a Sunday afternoon. It's like I really don't want to be inside. It's January. It's cold, or it's warm. It's not freezing. So let's go just out on the water and have some fun. And we got another and another one. Look at that, guys. And another one. Come here. Get in my boat so you can get in my belly. I've never been a crappie fisherman my entire life, but after today, yeah, I'm getting into it. I can see the addiction in crappie fishing, and a day like this will help. Oh, nope, 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 don't do that. Nope, nope. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 more to hit our goal. Let's see if we can do it. All right, well, I need to get out of here before that sun goes down because I do not have a headlight in my truck. So once again, little 6-inch clobber minnow, 1/8 ounce head. I think it's the size 4. Yeah, 6-inch crappie jig head, 1/8 ounce, number 4 hook, and a little clobber minnow and threadfin shad did the trick. Like I said, I'm not professing to know what I'm talking about when it comes to crappie fishing, but that's what I caught him on today. I feel like if I had some kind of bobber system or some kind of suspending lure, I would have probably caught him some more. But yeah, this is something I'm going to do for 2026, is to try and learn to become a better crappie angler. But looky here, I wouldn't say that's not a bad start for my first day of actually ever pursuing crappie. What do we got? 2, 4, 6, 7. Then we lost like 2 or 3. So I think that's just adjusting, your pattern. Look at these things. They got little shoulders on them. But yeah, let's get these guys back in the water real quick. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you watching. Come on, screen, work with me. Appreciate you watching if you did watch this, because I'm not a crappie fisherman, and something I really want to learn. I love to eat fish, and I think it's fun to go out and try to get a krill limit. Bass fishing needs a little bit more of that, but that is a topic for another day. We're going to load up, get out of here, and I'm actually Chad, the old man. He is he's professing that he is a crappie cooking master, a Gordon Ramsay of crappie cooking. So I'm gonna get loaded up, put these in the cooler on the way to home. Head home. He actually brought me a cooler because I'm not far from the house, and put those in there, get them on ice. We may or may not fillet them tonight. He said we may wait in the morning. He's got some work to get done, so he can't really just drop everything and get to cooking and filleting and all that good stuff. So we will see you here in a little bit. This shows how unprepared and my level of confidence in I was gonna actually catch something. I didn't bring anything to get him home, so thanks, Daddy. Or as they say down here in the South, Daddy. Thanks, Daddy. Let's get him in here. He He said he put a trash bag. Perfect. I'm so ignorant when it comes to this. Bam. Put some ice on you. Get you home. All right, guys, here we are. There is the, that is what we got. Got 7 good ones, good eatable size, but we're gonna use this little bubble knife to get these filleted up. Chad's actually running out to get some ingredients and stuff for cooking for whatever recipe he's got planned for me. So we're actually gonna fillet them right here. We're gonna get her filleted up. What's pretty cool about this little bubba knife is that it draws 0.85 amps. So if your truck has an inverter in it or anything like that, you can just use your truck if you're a person that uses an electric knife instead of, you know, just your standard knives. Let's get her plugged in. So like I've already said before, I'm very ignorant when it comes to this crappie stuff. You know, I grew up on the coast in my childhood when a lot of people would be doing, you know, that crappie fishing as a kid and all that stuff. But I grew up on the coast, redfish, trout, flounder, sheep's head, black drum, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of missed the crappie fishing, but especially after today, 2026 is going to be my year to become a crappie fisherman. I'm not professing I'm a Josh Jones at it or anything, but we're gonna get these filleted up, and then we're gonna meet up with Chad. He's actually, you know, he's getting the ingredients to concoct whatever he's going to concoct for us. So I'm gonna get these filleted up real quick, and then we'll see you at the house. That's not bad for somebody who don't know what they're doing, never done it before. I don't know. I could be just completely doing it wrong. Let's look at that meat right there. That right there, I'm gonna become proficient at getting that right there. But that's not bad for a little evening 1-hour sesh for somebody who's never been crappie fishing. Let's head over to Chad and get this deliciousness fried up. He said he's gonna make some tacos, and we're gonna save a couple for the week to go out until I can come out here and get some more. So we'll see you just in a second. What's up, babes? What's up? Come here. Watch out. Watch out. You're on video right now.
Are you filming?
I'm
For
filming.
real? Huh?
I'm filming.
Oh.
It's a little yellow in here. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. We had to reset the clip to get the white balance right, but no, I'm filming.
All right.
You're about to treat me, ain't you?
Yeah, bro. Well, I was talking about Paw on the podcast the other night, and you're like, dude, we got to cook some crappie. But because I'm trying to be less fat for 2026 and beyond, we can't cook those crappie the way I like to cook them, or the way I grew up on them, which is to basically just spoon scale them, cut them right behind the gills, take your finger, pop out the guts, and then turn around and cornmeal batter the thing, and then put them in a big old thing of peanut oil once you bring it to a boil, and then you just fry the whole fish, and then you eat the fins, the meat,
like
everything.
tater chips.
Oh, it's like a tater chip. So if I was going to cook crappie the nostalgia way, that would be how I do it. But because you're wanting to stay healthy and you're inspiring me to be healthy, I'm making what I actually used to make when y'all were a kid, which is basically crappie tacos. So
I'm getting fish tacos?
yeah, the way we're making this is this stuff right here, the Raging Cajun jalapeno relish. If there is like a, I don't know, secret to making them pop, it's the
Show that here.
It's the Raging Cajun jalapeno relish.
Put it right here in the middle.
You know nothing about that?
Right here.
The
I don't know nothing about it.
Raging. You do.
I don't. I know about eating it, but I don't know. I never knew what it was.
Yeah, I put it on steaks. And you do a dry rub on a steak and get that crust going. If you take that Raging Cajun jalapeno relish and just put a little bit on there and then sear it to the steak, oh my goodness. The other thing you could do is you could put these sweet heat gherkins, just plain old Mount Olive, right from pretty much any grocery store in the world. Chop them up in chunks, and that works out good too. But really, the secret is this this Raging Cajun.
That's that thing you taste, but you don't know what it is.
Exactly. Now I'm going to tell you guys, you can buy your Louisiana Ramadan sauce, right? Or I'm just going to tell you a little secret. Get yourself some Thousand Island. You get about twice as much. Thousand Island Ken's, one of my favorites. There's lots of different ones. But if you take Thousand Island, throw a little Worcestershire in it, throw a little squirt of that pickle juice in there, some garlic paprika. I don't like paprika, but that's what. So, let me just tell you what I do. A little garlic powder, and I'm gonna tell you another little juicy secret. It just makes tacos taste apart. Put a little garlic powder, but here's the next one. Bam! Throw some cumin, and if you're white and you don't know what cumin is, basically it's taco seasoning. So instead of spending $14 on a little thin package, I did the math on it one time. By the time you buy this much cumin in those little thin packages that you tear off, you spend like $14 on that. It's basically that with salt and peppers, taco seasoning. A little chili powder, a little cumin, you're good. But a little garlic powder, a little cumin, a little Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of pickle juice, and a little sweet relish. You pretty much got like the best like slaw, like fish taco thing ever. And really what I do is I just mix it up with slaw, or you can just take a spoon and just glop it onto your taco. Throw a little lettuce on there. Oh boy behind the camera doesn't like the old slaw thing. So I bought him one of these like taco kits with some shredded lettuce and some other stuff. I personally like a little more crunch, a little more flavor.
I'll try it.
And so what I like to do is I just like to mix up the slaw with the remoulade, or with the homemade remoulade that I make with Thousand Island. Mix it all together, and then I got this container that's just got this little thing on it right here. Well, it's got this one. You just put that lid back on it, and you can make fish tacos about 3, 4, sometimes 5 days. Just make the fish fresh, but you got your fixings all kind of ready to go, and you save a bunch of money that way, like, and a bunch of time.
You're
and
about to fix some of that.
If you like, if you're a single dude, or if you're like a mom that's busy, blah blah blah, all that good stuff.
Or you just like to eat fish.
Or if you just like to eat fish, this is a good way to do it. So, real simple. I like the slaw mixed up with the remoulade or the homemade. This stuff right here, if you want to buy it pre-made, best in the game. Just the same company as Louisiana Hot Sauce. They just make it. They sell it at every grocery store. The other trick you could do is any yum yum sauce is pretty much Thousand Island with a little bit of more tart in it and some celery salt. So basically you can get remoulade, Thousand Island, yum yum. The secret is, if it ain't already called remoulade, if it's not from Cajun country, throw a little Worcestershire in it, throw a little two-step or Tony seasonings in it, add a little bit of pickle juice or relish or jalapeno juice. That's what gives it that zangy. It's what gives it that twang, that tang, that damn. You know what I mean? Is that pickle juice. Contrary to popular belief, if you've ever ate tater salad and you're like, that's the best damn tater salad I've ever had in my life, they probably put a little extra juice, because everybody puts relish in there, little pickle piece parts and stuff, but it's the person that adds that little half a cup of pickle juice in there that gives it that extra pop. So cool. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna put this in the container over here, so we got it for later.
Shouldn't you put that in the fridge?
No, once you open it, you gotta put it in the fridge. But until then, so I'm just putting the black beans and corn. That's all you need for the Southwest crab. You ain't got to get all fancy. Put that jalapeno relish in it. You're going to put as much of this as you want on your taco. You're going to put the fish. You're going to put the slaw. And that's it.
Cool.
I mean, you ain't got to do a whole bunch of craziness. And here's the thing. You can get as crazy with this as you want to. Cool thing about fish tacos is you can make the Southwest version one day. Next day, bro, get some of this right here. Kinder's.
I think it's Kinder's.
That Chipotle, it's Kinder's where I'm from. If they call it Kinder's, they just say it wrong. But
I think the company
I heard them say it on the bowl. I heard them say it on the bowl game the other day. I was like, that ain't right. I'm from Louisiana. We call it Kinder's. So anyway, that Chipotle pineapple, bruh. Put that right there. Drizzle it back and forth. Throw a little sour cream, the meat, some lettuce, or some of that slaw. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up my version. My concoction. So you're going to put about a doodap, which right there, that's about a doodap.
Is that an official measurement?
Kind of fill up the bottom of the bowl. Now you're going to throw this on over here in the refrigerator. For the fish, we're going to cut it up into small chunks. We're going to do a real simple deal, okay? Real simple deal. You can do it a couple ways, okay? You can get all fancy with the red wine vinegar. You can throw a little bit of this Cholula in there while you're doing it. But you really want to you're really going to want to go with some type of avocado oil. I personally like this Primal Kitchen stuff the best to kind of coat your pan, or you could just go straight up with get on in there with the real virgin olive oil, like the real stuff, like the good stuff. This one I think I get from like Fresh Market or something like that. But you want like real, legit, quality olive oil or avocado oil. And then you're going to put it on in there. You're going to throw yourself about a dip dap of butter, like 2 pats. Like just kind of like this. I'm just going to show you. You're going to cut yourself about a thick pat, like that. Right? And you're going to cut yourself about a half pat, like that. You're going to put that on in there like that. Then all you want to do is coat your pan with this stuff right here. This olive oil. Just get the bottom of the pan coated.
Turn that pan light on.
And then once we get that
surface light,
once we get that part going, then I'll cut the fish up. We'll get that thing going in there. So the one thing you do, and this is really what I like about this camper, is like everything's kind of, I can be doing one thing, and when I get ready for the next thing, I can just move to it. So I'm going to start working on this. I'm going to tell that knucklehead to cut the fish up. I did spy back in here something I was going to show y'all. But this sugar-free sweet vinaigrette from this dude right here, G. Hughes, they sell it at Walmart. He makes a Yum Yum version of this. Bruh, take this Yum Yum, substitute it for the 1,000. Do what I'm about to do right there. If you're that, that sugar diabetes.
What you think?
And you're trying to stay in the like a little bit less of the caloric world, right?
Trying to hit that.
Then you can stay with that sugar down low. Look, there ain't no real rhyme or reason to a lot of this. So you just want to throw on the top of that stuff right there, some of that. All right, y'all comment how you say this. Write it out phonetically. I grew up in the South. We call this Worcestershire. But I've heard people say Worcestershire, Worcestershire. What do you call this? I call it Worcestershire or Worcestershire or Worcestershire. Just say it, Worcestershire. What do y'all call it? Tell me what y'all call that. I'd love to hear what. And by the way, there ain't but one. It's Lee and Perrins. That's the only one. There's other ones, and we ain't got no affiliation with them, but Lee and Perrins, the only one. All them other ones is like soy sauce, wearing a Worcestershire sauce dress. Get to that Lee and Perrins or don't get none at all. Oh, dang. I got about halfway into this thing and I forgot. If you like your 1,000 Remoulade or any of them a little bit more on the bold side, go and get in there with that French's plain old yellow mustard. And if you like it a little more savory, kind of a little bit more of a smoky flavor, you don't really need the spicy because you're going to have plenty enough spicy with all the stuff in there. Then going with that brown. I'm going to go in here with this yellow, plain old, like no fancy. Do about a dibble dap like that. Just kind of cover up the top like so, right? Don't get that mustard in there. And I almost forgot. This is where you decide how spicy you want it, okay? And look, I am pretty sure a cayenne pepper grows from the ground, and there's only like a cayenne pepper. I think that there's probably like an organism in the world called a cayenne pepper. So I don't know what they do, but if you don't get in there with that Zatarain's, I don't know what to tell you about their cayenne over the top of other cayennes. But because we already got a lot of spice in here, I'm not going to go crazy. We're going to get in here. I'm going to show you. Not that I normally use a spoon, but I'm going to show you how much you need, okay? You're going to get in there about like that, what I call the tip of a teaspoon. I don't know how much that measures out to. It's called the tip of a teaspoon. Just going to kind of shake that in there like that, and you're going to need to mix this up good. Now, here's the thing. If and you decide, put a little bit more of this in there than that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up the freezer side of your refrigerator unit at your house. And you want to take yourself a set of Dude wipes. And you're going to want to put them up on the top shelf. That way, they're ready when you need them. Because if you put too much cayenne after you done went in there. By the way, I get this question all the time. Tony's or two-step? Answer is yes. I like them both. And crazy enough, I can actually taste the difference if I just put them in together. So I put a little bit of both. Just kind of double them up. If I want it to be kind of it's kind of hard to explain. If I want it to be like a high flavor, like a real rich flavor, then I'm going with the two-step. If I want it to be more of a bold, kind of a deeper flavor, then I go with the Tony's. Kind of a little bit more of a smoky, kind of more of a earthy. This is kind of more of a like, but damn, kind of like a, wake up scent. So if you, or flavor. So you put them both in there, call it good. So one thing you want to do here is you want to mix this stuff up real good. If you got like a little blender thing, something like that, you can use that. But if you also got sour cream, you can throw a little sour cream in here for extra little richness. But we're literally just gonna mix this up just like that. And again, I'm only making this personally as a base for my slaw. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna dump it off in my slaw, just like that. And then you can get fancy if you want to. You can take that bowl, which you already got your stuff in, and you just kind of drop your fillets over in there, kind of roll them around a little bit before you throw them into the skillet. That'll give it a little extra flavor. So then you're just gonna take this slaw, you're just gonna mix it up with that. You can also make more than that, so you got enough to, you know, have some to dip it in. But man, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when y'all see how this comes out with these fish tacos, you're gonna be like, oh my. Oh my.
So that's how Chad got to looking the way he did.
Oh my. I mean, hey, listen. You either know where all the good restaurants are, you married correctly, or you learn to cook. Fortunately for me and my life,
You got all three.
I've done all three at one stage or the other, but the constant through it all. And again, if you don't want it to be as yellow, as bold, and as tart was the word I was looking for before, then use less mustard. If you want it to have that tart flavor, that pow, then go in there with a little extra mustard. So I'm gonna set this over here to the side. We're gonna go and get these crappie out of here. Now, a couple ways you can do this. You can use yourself like a big old kitchen knife. You can use yourself one of these chopping knives. But one of the things I've learned over the last few years is these kitchen scissors, especially if you got good ones, you can just go down through here like so, just cut up these fillets. You got to make sure you clean these so you don't end up with a bunch of gunk in there. But it's real easy, it's real clean. You don't have to like worry about cutting yourself. So for those of y'all that are, you know, outdoors challenged, don't know how to handle proper tools, man, you just get in here with this pair of scissors, these kitchen shears. Everybody makes a decent pair of shears, but those right there, like the ones just straight on Target, Walmart
special.
Bed Bath & Beyond. I think I got these at Walmart. Might have even got them on Amazon. I don't know for sure. Just a good pair of scissors. You don't want the ones with the serrated edges, because the ones with the serrated edges have a tendency to have gunk just kind of stay caught up in them. But you're just going to want to cut this up into, you know, small, manageable pieces about the size you would want on a fish taco. You can make them smaller. The thing is, if you make them super small, you got to make them all small. Because if you don't, they're going to cook real fast, and then the bigger pieces are going to cook slow. So you just kind of want a consistent size. And, you know, just go through here and, you know, basically just make sure you don't have a bunch of mismatched pieces. And then we're just going to repeat that same process for however much fish we need for the fish tacos. You got yourself a little skin right there. So that's, again, another thing why these scissors are the bomb. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm going to hit these with pepper. I'm going to start the oven cooling, or the skillet, and then I'm just going to throw these pieces in there, and we're going to kind of pan brown them. Now, I will tell you this. If you take yourself a piece of aluminum foil, make yourself a little floor inside your air fryer. Take your air fryer deal right here. Just kind of fill that with aluminum foil. Put you some butter, garlic, and pepper. That's it. Then take these fillets, put them in a bowl, and roll them around in some olive oil. Turn that air fryer on 350 for 12 minutes. You want the chunks to be a little bit bigger, about double the size of these ones here. Put them in that air fryer about the 4-minute in mark. Take that thing, stir it around a little bit, add a little bit more butter to it. Just let it cook in that butter, that olive oil, and that garlic. Oh, that's all you need. Now, you can go buy the garlic and olive oil butter, like companies that make it, but you just mix up your fish in that olive oil to get them good and coated. You can spray the foil with the spray kind. I like to use the actual, you know, the stuff out the bottle. But what you're going to do You're just going to go through this. And the cool thing also about cutting it out with scissors is you can feel them bones. And when you feel the bones, you just take the bones out as you go. When you're cutting it with a knife, especially with a really sharp knife, you won't necessarily feel the bones. So the other cool thing, if you're cooking for kids, if you're cooking for somebody, it's like their first time, ever eating fish.
A bone to the roof will scar.
Or if you just want to, if you just want to get the thing out there, these scissors make it really cool because you can kind of, if you run into a bone, you can feel it. So what I'm gonna do is set them aside right there for just a second. I'm gonna go on and get my stove going. You just want like a medium heat, about like that right there. Well, a little lower, about like that. You'll take your pan, just set it over the top of it. We're gonna slide this air fryer out the way. I'm gonna tell you something. Air fryer, I've thought about doing a whole series called Air Fryer Chronicles, because I think with the right seasoning, you could cook a dog turd in an air fryer and it would turn out like edible, like something you would actually like. Man, that's good. But yeah, we're just gonna let this heat up. We're gonna let that butter and that olive oil mix together. I'm a big fan also of ghee butter. So if you haven't done so yet, ghee butter or beef tallow, which this is beef tallow right here. Best stuff ever if you're not using olive oil. So 3 choices: ghee butter, olive oil, beef tallow. Thing about beef tallow is, to me, it's like the oil stays with it, so it makes it kind of oily. It's good fat, so it's no problem, but it just kind of makes it a little, I don't know, like a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Makes it a little fatty tasting.
Greasy?
Like you can taste, not greasy, because beef tallow is not really greasy. It just makes it taste a little fatty, right? The other thing that I like to do when I cook these is I like to cook them with a soft, what do you call them, spatula. I don't like to cook them with a fork or whatever. And I got this Ninja skillet that's got real nice, what do you call that stuff, non-stick coating on it?
Ceramic?
No, it's not ceramic. It's just a non-stick coating on this metal. But for whatever reason, I've even had some like really high-end cookware that I've lost in divorces over the years. And then when I bought this Ninja skillet from Walmart because I was, what's the word? Broke. It's done pretty well. All right, guys, once you got that butter and that olive oil nice and mixed and melted, you're gonna go in there and hit this with this blackening seasoning. Now, you can try to do the time and the heat of the grease just perfect, and then go in with your blackening seasoning and all that, or you can do what I'm doing right here. Butter, olive oil, take your blackening seasoning, put some on the thing. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on my vent fan. I'm gonna bump this up to about 3/4 heat, not high, but higher. Then I'm gonna hit this fish with some blackened seasoning as well, because we were making blackened fish tacos, and it ain't blackened fish tacos if it ain't blackened. And you almost, when I say almost, you almost can't put too much blackened seasoning. You can, but you almost can't, if that makes sense. So we're gonna just take this stuff, we'll get it on our old spatula like that. We'll spread it off in there like that. Same thing right yonder. We'll get that stuff in there, and just again, we're just gonna kind of mix it around, let it draw up some of that butter. Olive oil pretty much ain't gonna draw up. It's just gonna kind of serve as a non-stick addition solution for it to cook in. Then we're gonna basically spread this out so ain't none of them sitting on top of each other. Kind of let it simmer for a second. Now, if you got a big stove, this is where you can go ahead and take a second skillet, start putting your tortillas in there. What I like to do is get the meat, put it on the plate, let it kind of start to cool down and sit. And while it's sitting, I throw them tortillas on there, let them soak up the last bit of juice and olive oil and blackening seasoning. I almost like use them to clean the skillet. And then just kind of flip them over, make me about 3-4 of them. Throw them in the little taco stand or throw them in a bowl. Put your little meat in there. Put your little lettuce, your cabbage concoction. Throw the amount of black beans and corn you want on there. And I mean, you done. That's literally blackened fish tacos. So we're gonna cook this meat. We're gonna get them prepared, and then we'll
sit down and we'll do a taste test.
We'll come back and show y'all what they look like in the consumption mode. So we browned up a batch of tortillas. We'll go in there and drop some of that coleslaw with that remoulade, that redneck remoulade. It ain't really Cajun. It's kind of more redneck. That's going to give you a good base. You're going to take you some of this here blackened crappie. You're going to go in there like so. And you're just going to kind of run it down the top like that right there. That's your protein. And then what you want to do is you want to come in here, some of this black beans corn, and don't forget, we done hit it up with that Cajun jalapeno relish. You're just gonna do you like a little dooba dabba on that thing right there like that. And you can come back on top with some extra sauce, some yum, some stuff like that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold this dude up about like so, like that, right there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna find out what the results were.
Oh, yeah. Good as you remembered it?
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness, baby. Look at that. Some people cut it and show you the cross section. Let me just get you another.
Chad's about to quit fishing, just open a cooking channel.
Golly. Whoo. Yeah, baby. I might have went a little heavy on the cayenne. Thought I was gonna lose some weight this year, but that ain't gonna happen.